Friends, man, it's T-Man. I'm back with, oh man, this is going to be a funny video. It's Jason Blah, the gym, lifting, recruiting, fitness, gear slave himself. Jason Blah, bro, I'm going to react to this video because Jason Blah of the Strength and Baloney Fitness channel says, I squat 500 pounds at age 48. And yes, you should listen to me because of this. Man, he does not squat 500 pounds at 48. You understand me? He does not squat it. I've squatted 500 pounds, but I did not squat 500. I cannot squat 500 pounds. You understand me? Like a real squat, full range of motion. It's bullshit. A lot of people bullshit you. If Blaha squatted 500 pounds, like full range of motion, he'd be dead at the bottom. He'd never get up. It's a lie. So I can squat concentrically 500 pounds like Blaha. You understand? Blaha lifts concentrically. I can do that too. But that doesn't mean you can squat 500. And I'm 58 and he's 48.
Yes, you should absolutely listen to my training information because of the fact that I can squat 500 pounds.
He's lying. He cannot squat 500. Neither can I. At 58, I can't squat it, and neither can he at 48. It's a lie.
Watching me do it right here. Calibrated plates with no sleeves, no wraps, no problems.
In other words, what I'm saying is he cannot squat it eccentrically. You understand me? He cannot squat 500 pounds eccentrically. You'll see. Watch.
No real supportive equipment other than a belt.
Right there. He stops right there. That's concentric. His butt is sticking all the way out and his neck is all the way forward. You understand me? This is like you're bouncing the weight back up. That's the whole point. It makes it easier to bounce it when you stick your neck out and your butt outward. Watch.
At the age of 48
up,
with
see?
a gray beard.
Did he do a full eccentric squat? No. So he's a liar. He cannot squat 500. He's lying. And he's on steroids.
Yes, it matters. And hey, everybody, it's Jason Blah here, and I thought I would chat with you guys and gals about this today. Now, for anyone...
He's a liar. He lied. He lied to you. He cannot squat that eccentrically, 500 pounds. I bet you he could barely do a plate and a quarter plate. Oh, maybe two. Yeah. Let's say a 45-pound plate and a 35-pound plate. He could probably do that maybe eccentrically. But I really doubt it because he never squats eccentrically. The reason why he can't run fast is because his knees are destroyed. This weakens you doing that. 500 pounds concentrically weakens your legs and your knees. It weakens your joints because eccentric exercises are regenerative. They regenerate you stronger, bigger and stronger. The ligaments, the tendons, and the muscle area there in that area. But he doesn't do eccentric exercises, Blaha. He's a liar.
Who even knows the smallest bit about training, who's ever been to a gym in their life, I guarantee you I have your attention with that. Because let's be real.
That's the whole point, to trick you. They do these circus acts to trick you. They bounce weights off their chest. They bounce it off their, let's say they're standing up and they're pressing a weight. They bounce it. They don't bring it up with strict form because they're not strong enough to do it. They always bounce the weight off. They get this initial bounce to bounce it up. Blaha, he bounced it. When he went down, he stuck his butt out and his neck forward. He bounced it back up again. That's the whole point. You go down, bounce, and come back up again. It's concentric lifting. These concentric lifters, they do that. They throw weights around. Like in Olympic lifting, they throw the weight off their hips and shit. They throw it up and down. They could never do it with strict form because they're weak. You understand me? So what they do is, it's a fool. They fool you. They trick you. They do these exercises. They throw them up and down. They throw them all over the place. You get it? Even look at his bicep curling. It's to fool you. He could never do a heavy bicep curl because he's weak.
Whole lot of people you guys follow, you know.
So now he's leaning back to make you, in your head, make you think it's difficult because I'm leaning back. But look at the amount of weight he's using. There's nothing there.
Deep down, they don't have any experience. You know deep down that you don't know if the advice they give you is going to keep you in the long game.
He doesn't have any advice. He can't tell you anything about lifting because he lacks experience. He lacks experience. He hasn't done many things in his life. He hasn't done anything. He has never run marathons or done a triathlon. He's never enrolled in a strongman competition or any of these things. He's never done any of these things. You understand me? He hasn't really done like real calisthenics or fucking. He does some powerlifting, but he takes steroids, bro. Get it? He takes steroids. He hasn't really done real bodybuilding. He doesn't know what real bodybuilding is about. It's superior to powerlifting because bodybuilding is the big four, and it's calisthenics, and it's accessory work, and it's fucking dumbbells and barbells and fucking cable rows and a bunch of stuff and cables and machines. It's everything. That's why it's superior to all these other modalities.
Because, I mean, I've been doing this a long time. There were people on YouTube who were real.
Yes. Blaha has been failing for a long time. So let me get this straight. Because he's been on here failing for a long time, and he's got these fake numbers because we all know that Blaha bought his subs. So he's somebody now, right?
Famous 10, 12 years ago.
See? Oh, I was famous 10, 12 years ago. Why 10, 12 years ago? Wasn't it 10 years ago? I think it was less than, yeah, it's probably 10 years for him. It's only been about 10 years for Blaha.
Or other social media.
Rebird lets you trade in your...
Who were real famous 10, 12 years ago.
Yeah, and where are those people that were famous 10, 12 years ago? They're either dead like Joe, what's that guy's name? Joe Linder. Joe Linder's dead, and there's all these other people that are dead, and Paula Quinn, all these people, whatever, these influencers, they've died, a lot of them, or they've dropped off. They're not posting on their channels anymore because they've given up, because they failed at it. And when they fail, they become disgruntled and then they quit.
Or other social media. They're so beat up they can barely lift anymore. Mm-hmm. Big names.
Yeah.
Guys younger than me.
Yes, they're beat up because they failed. They failed at it.
They can't squat 500 pounds now. They can't bench 315 now. They can't do any of these things.
I don't know that. They could. Maybe some can. I can still squat and bench heavy. You know what I mean? I still squat heavy. All the people know me in the gym, squat heavy. That was the major thing that I could do, was heavy squats. I hate lifting stuff off the floor heavy. That doesn't mean I can't do them. You know what I mean? I don't want to do them anymore. When I reached my goal, why should I keep doing it forever? I reached the goal. I already know what builds muscle. It took me a while to learn it. It took me a decade to perfect and understand bodybuilding and lifting and all these modalities. I mean, from the 80s to the 90s, I fucking did everything. I did triathlons, marathons. I did one strongman competition just to see what it was like to be there. I remember a guy being 215 next to me. Fuck, I was like a beast. And the guy next to me, he was like 215. I was like, this guy entered the show at 215. I was like, and he was pretty strong at 215. But you have to understand what real true strength is really about. Like I said, you can get these so-called steroid people like Larry Wheels, lifting a heavy weight. They can lift 900 pounds off the floor, but they can't beat a skinny guy in arm wrestling. Why is that? Because they didn't build any myofibrillars, get it? They didn't build any muscle. They're relying on the steroid to lift a heavy weight and these androgen receptors for force production. In other words, when a woman is trying to pull the car off her kid, she gets an influx of this adrenaline. The adrenaline binds with the muscle androgen receptor, giving you maximal force production. And so in lifting, you accumulate more of them and they widen. You understand me? How do you think I know all these things? Because I've gone through all the literature, bro. I've read fucking so much literature you can't even imagine. That's why I understand these things. I don't know about explaining it to other people, but I just know about a lot of stuff, okay? And so I know that there's androgen receptors. They can widen and you can get more of them. I know how you can boost that using a specific drug. Another drug that they use in bodybuilding, I know something that can boost that, where that you don't have to keep going higher and higher dosages when you can actually implement this other drug. You can push it in there. I knew about these things, people masking things when they went to competitions. They use these things called black ice. I knew a lot of stuff that they used to try to block these things in these fucking, because I had friends that took drugs. I know everything that people were doing, man. Everybody discussed these things before in the gym. I talked to people that took steroids. They told me everything. And so I knew about these other drugs. I learned it from them, because a lot of people ask me, they go, how'd you learn that? Where'd you learn that? Who told you that? Because I learned it from these people. They were doing it. They were there, and they were intelligent, and how they went about their business. So they explained it to me, and they passed the knowledge on to me. But I know that these androgen receptors are used for maximal force production. That's why I know where to find all the answers. That's why in PubMed, myocytic androgen receptor controls the strength, but not the mass of the limb muscles. What controls the mass of limb muscles? Well, these hormones and, the progenitor cells and a bunch of stuff. And the satellite cells and yada, yada. And then it just goes on, folostat, myostat, all these things control that. But why do they say myocytic androgen receptor controls the strength? How does it control the strength? Well, the androgen binds with the receptor, giving maximal force production. It's not just based on motor unit recruitment. You understand me? It's not just based on that.
Some of them are barely 40 years old. Some of them are in their late 30s. So, yeah, doing this stuff at my age.
Here's the thing. How can you boost that strength naturally even more if you want to boost it even more? Okay, so lifting will get you more of these androgen receptors. They'll widen, the hormones bind, blah, 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 right? Okay, how do you boost them even more? It's really simple. So you exceed that breakdown in protein in your body, for an example. So how do you do that? Well, you just eat a lot, right? Okay, so that would convert the catabolic hormone to an androgen, so it won't have to compete with the myocytic androgen receptor, giving you more force production. So how does that work? It's really easy. So now that you're anabolic, you're no longer breaking anything down, then that cortisol hormone has to be converted to an androgen. Once it converts to an androgen, it no longer competes with the myocytic androgen receptor, giving you more force production. So not only do you get maximal force production, but you get even more force production naturally, see, to lift something even heavier.
Is an absolute enormous selling point to my information, because every one of you, even you younger kids, you guys, you're 18, you're 20, you already.
He doesn't know any of these things. He doesn't even know how amino acids work. You want to know how amino acids work? The tablets. The reason why the reason why they don't want to sell them to everybody, they don't exclusively put them out anymore like they did before, because they can build muscle, but only in a specific state can they build a muscle. But what they do is they overstimulate growth hormone. That's what they do. See what I mean? It's like MK7, what is it? MK77, 747 or 77, that fucking modulator, SARM's modulator, MK747 or MK77. Well, amino acids are like that, but better. So in high dosages, they actually stimulate both hormones, the gonadotropin and the HGH, and a bunch of other things. Your whole endocrine system is boosted with the amino acids in high dosages. So that promotes even more muscle growth, providing you damaged your muscles, you micro damage them. If they're micro damaged and you take the amino acids, it's going to boost that growth even more. But only in those 2 sessions. I wouldn't recommend you keep taking it all week. Some people, they abuse it. They'll keep taking it all week. But the fact is, you only need it in those 2 sessions when you got damaged.
No.
So you take a high dose before you go in the gym, and you take a high dose after the gym, after your workout, before you go to sleep.
You guys aren't stupid. Look, a lot of older guys like me, we try to pretend like, oh, because you're young, you're dumb, you don't know anything. Okay, no, I don't think you guys are that dumb. I think maybe you lack experience, but it doesn't mean that you're dumb. Right? Doesn't mean you're...
Yeah, Blaha lacks experience.
Dumb by any means. And I think a lot of you are chiming in looking for information. You're probably pretty smart. You have enough sense to say, hey, I need to be looking for information. Okay? So this already says something. If you're over here looking for
I'm gonna make more videos on his clients, exposing his clients. Their failure. Lifting failures is what they are.
expertise, you're probably not an idiot. You have some sense. So let's talk about having some sense. Let's talk about having some sense. I've been watching this a long time. I've watched clowns put out information who were popular 10, 12 years ago.
I like this. I've had clowns put out 10, 12 years ago information. I've proved everything I said with science. I never lied in my videos. I proved everything and even more, bro. And I always post on my old channel in the community section. I used to post shitloads of information. And I'm even posting more now because we have AI. So I post more stuff, but with discretion. What I post, it's discretionary. I post it based on my experience. If I see something and I think it's fake, I don't post it. If it maybe it's not, the information was taken from something weird. I only post what is real. That's it, bro. And my even this community section, my community section is filled with information. You can read forever. Forever.
Who are beat the hell up. Lots of them. I see clowns right now who are popular, 1 million followers. I'm watching them do stuff that I know 10 years from now, they're not going to be lifting. 5 years.
Yeah, I've seen channels like that. They're quite popular. Yeah, there's a lot of people like that. Real doesn't sell in this world. People don't want to do what's real because it's difficult to do real. And they're lazy.
Years from now, those guys are not going to be able to do what they're doing.
Here's the thing. People love to complain. That's all they love to do is complain. Like Blaha. He's always complaining about his small arms, why he's gotten injured. He's always complaining, and listen to him in his videos. He's always complaining. You know, I have to get better. I have to lose more weight. Yes, guys, I have to do this. I have to do that. He's always complaining. He's always complaining. Want to know why? Because he's a failure. Because he's not willing to do what it takes. You understand? He's not willing to do the things today that other people will not do in order to have the things tomorrow that other people will not have. Yeah, he's not.
In the gym, even just physique-related guys, they're going to be beat the hell up. They're going to be washed up has-beens. Perfect example, someone I called out the other day, that Max Ucita guy.
Well, he's not going to be a washed up has-been, Blaha, because he doesn't do anything. He doesn't work out. He doesn't do anything. He pretends. And we don't even know if these weights are fake, some of them that he's using. They could be fake.
Guy has no idea how to train.
Max Alceida is just marketing stuff. He's jealous of Max Ucita because he's part of Gymshark. He has like over 1 million followers. He's a fake. He's faking it. It's kind of obvious.
Already getting beat, destroyed, hurt while lifting light weights. The only thing he knows how to do.
That's not what he said. He got some injury and then he moved his arm in the shower and he got hurt or something. It's hurting him for a while. It could happen to some people. You could pull a nerve or something. I don't know.
Is use tren and nandrolone and then claim natural. That is his entire knowledge base. He doesn't even know the fundamentals of training, doesn't know the base.
That's Blaha's one to talk. What does Blaha take? Testosterone and primobolan. That's what he said in the last video, right? That's what he's on right now. That's all Blaha knows how to take and lift a weight from the ground up.
He's getting hurt doing lightweight on machines. Wow. Okay? But I'm going to say to anyone who wants to do this in the long game, sure, he looks good because he uses lots of tren.
That's the marketing part, to look good. Isn't that what you're trying to do, Blaha? You're trying to look good by losing body fat to impress people. So you think you're going to get clients. Okay.
It's not his training, I can promise you that much.
Mm-hmm.
It's got some decent genetics for aesthetics, and he uses lots of tren. That's his whole secret. His training is horrifically bad. He gets hurt, has no idea what he's doing. He's been hurt multiple times now.
Oh, yeah.
With light weights on a machine. Like, you know how bad your training has to be for that to happen? Speaking as a guy who is...
I don't know what Max Ucita is really doing. I have no idea. He said something, he pulled his arm, something, went to a shower, hurt himself, or he pulled a nerve or some shit. So what? Shit happens to people, man. What if you slipped in your backyard right now? You slipped and you twisted your knee and it hurt for 2 months. See what I mean? Does that mean that you're bad at lifting, Blaha? Come on, man.
squatting 500 pounds at the age of 48, not beat up.
Oh my God. You do not squat 500 pounds at 48. All right. You take steroids. You do not squat. You're like Max Asada taking Tren. Okay, dude?
To that degree. How bad does your training have to be, homie?
The next Lotto 649 Gold.
This matters. This matters a lot.
Okay.
So yeah, when I talk about things in longevity under the barbell and fatigue management and why we need to rotate certain movements, how much volume we can handle, how much workload we can handle, why we have to be more careful in certain movements than others.
Why?
I'm not talking crap.
Why?
I'm not saying it just to hear my lips flapping.
Okay.
I'm saying it as someone who has been watching, has coached, has trained, has competed in powerlifting, has trained bodybuilders, has trained powerlifters, has trained strongmen, trained marathon runners, trains fighters. Okay? Telling you as someone who does this, that yes, there are ways to do things so that you can do this for life. And even to you younger guys, you're 18, 20 years old now, that time is going to pass anyways. And I would like to hope that you want to do this for the rest of your life. Like if you caught the bug, you were in the gym,
I don't want to do this for the rest of my life. That's why I built my body. I try to discover what built muscle because I didn't want to do it the rest of my life. Get it? That was the whole idea. I wanted to build muscle so that I could get jacked and big and strong, and I would stay that way. That was the idea. I didn't want to keep practicing like these other idiots in a gym coming in, lifting slave, practicing at lifting a heavy weight concentrically. I wanted to be good at lifting everything eccentrically, concentrically, and I wouldn't have to come back. That's why I had to discover what would build muscles.
If you want to get in shape, I'm a lifer.
Look at Blaha. He lifts concentrically. He's a lifting slave, bro. Get it? He's been enslaved to concentric lifting, which doesn't build muscles. You know the funny part? It's sad. Blaha will never discover what actually builds muscles. It's unfortunate. He'll die going to his grave, never have known or ever building a muscle. Isn't that crazy? To know what it's like to be really strong. Really, really, really strong. Wow. He's never gonna. There's a lot of people like that out there. They'll never know what it would be like to be really strong because they never put in the effort to discover it and then go for it. They didn't do it. I did it. I did it over 5 years ago, 25, 26, 27 years ago, or something like that, or 28 years ago. So I already discovered it. Once I hit my goal, it was over. I stopped going to the gym. I didn't go. I stayed that way for more than a decade and a half. I was big like that for over a decade and a half. Still pretty big to the end. Even just recently, even before I was still going to the gym. I don't know. But whatever.
Okay? I'm going to be doing this until the day I die.
Like I said, the highest weight I got to was 285, all right? And I felt so strong, like I can't even describe it, bro. Like I said, just like science tells you, when you build these myofibrillars, you get fucking strong. Like I mean super strong and jacked. You'll be good at every sport.
I've been at this well over 25 years at this point. I'm going to do this till the day I die.
Yeah, he's been at it 25 years, and I haven't been at it for 25 years. I was when I was younger, I did it, and then I did other stuff, and then by the time I reached my mid to late 90s, that's when I went all out to build my body big and strong. And then it happened within a few months. Less than a year. Less than a year. I had to regress because I carried a lot of that sarcoplasmic hypertrophy, so I regressed. And then I went up higher. And then I remember it got up to 255. There was some plateauing. And then I shot for more progressively overloading at that point. I went overloading the weight so I could go higher. And I went to 285. And then it was time for me to move away because I was moving to a foreign country to work and do a bunch of stuff. So I was moving away. Had I did not move away, and I would have kept going, probably would have been 300 or even more for all I know. I don't know. I would have kept going with it. Who knows? But I stopped at 285. And I think that was enough anyways. Because everybody told me I'm too big. My mom didn't like to walk with me in the street because she's like, man, you're too big. I don't like to walk with you in the street because you're too big. The people didn't like that. A lot of people.
It's in my blood. And I'm hoping a lot of you guys, I'm hoping and praying that you feel the same and you're saying, hey, I want to be doing this too. I want to squat 500 pounds in my 40s and not hurt when I wake up in the morning. Right? It matters. Don't get busted up. And it's not because people are lifting heavy. If it was just because people were lifting heavy, then that Max Husita guy wouldn't be hurt. He lifts light weights on a machine.
Yeah, lifting heavy doesn't make you strong. What makes you strong is myofibulars. Yeah, here's the difference. Lifting heavy doesn't make you strong. What makes you strong is myofibular growth. See what I mean? You get it?
He's getting hurt in his 20s. So when I talk about these things, I know what I'm talking about, and I'm not.
No, Blaha doesn't lift anymore. Look at him. He does one or two reps to deadlift. He does that squat, 1 rep or 2 reps. So what is that going to do? What does that do? Nothing. Nothing. And these light weights that he's doing here, this accessory work stuff, whatever, it's bullshit.
Saying it because I'm trying to sell you a supplement. I'm not saying it because I'm trying to sell you a clothing line.
Yes, he is. He's saying it because he's trying to sell you supplements and a clothing line and his Teespring stuff, and he's trying to sell you programs, and he's trying to sell you on all this stuff and get you as being his clients or some shit.
Saying it because this is my passion and I love this and I want to help.
It's his passion, but he doesn't know what he's doing. So if it's his passion, why does he have to take drugs? Because he's weak.
Others. Yes, I obviously sell coaching services, but 99.9% of my followers are never going to need a coach, hire a coach. Most of them can't afford a coach. Okay? Yeah. We got to be realistic.
Okay. All right.
About that. But what I can do is help you guys stick it out for the long game so that you can be jacked, you can be strong, you can be fit for the next 20 years.
Nobody on Blaha's channel has been jacked or strong or anything. Where's client Michelle and all these and that other client, the other girl, Christine or Michelle and all of them? Where do they all go? They never changed. They look the same. And so will this Mathis guy and everybody else that you got playing there, these phony people you have on your channel, clients, whatever. They're never going to go anywhere. They're not going to change at all. They're adapted to their exercises. You don't know how to train people. You're crazy.
Not waking up going, my shoulders hurt, my knees hurt, I'm broken. I need knee wraps or knee sleeves to even work out.
Doesn't Blaha wear knee sleeves? Look at the last videos. He's squatting with knee sleeves. You want to know why he's using knee sleeves? Because his knees hurt, bro. Get it? He's lying. Look at him. I don't know which video it was in. I'd have to look for it now. Wait. He's using knee sleeves. It's not in this video. I don't remember which one it is now. Christ, I don't remember now. Hold on. It could be this one or this one. I'm not really sure. Hold on. Let me see. Is it this one? No, it's not this one. I don't remember which one it is.
Hey, everybody.
Is it this one?
Whew, I need a caffeine break. How about you? My treat.
I don't know which one it is, but he's wearing knee sleeves. Fuck it, man. He's wearing knee sleeves in some of his videos. I don't know which fucking one it is now. I'm not gonna look for it. I don't really give a shit. I don't really care, but it's one of those. I don't know.
Yes.
I don't know which one it is. And anyways, I don't give a shit. He's wearing knee sleeves. Who cares?
Brothers, yes, I obviously sell coaches
This video's over.
to even work out because I want that for you guys listening.
He's wearing knee sleeves in these videos. He's lying. He's got problems with his knees. His knees are hurting because he does concentric lifting. Look at his body. It's frail. Look at it. It's small, frail. It's weak.
Listen to the things I'm telling you about programming. Listen to the things I'm telling you about technique. I mean, I have whole videos telling you how.
Let's see how he is at my age at 58. Like I'm jacked at 58, okay? I'm jacked. A guy told me today, I was over here across the street, and I was talking to him, and he said to me, and he goes, "How old are you?" And I go, "I'm 57 now, I'm practically 58." And he goes, "Wow." He goes, "I'm 58." And I go, and he goes, "Christ, man." He goes, "You look so young." Yeah, because compared to him, I look so young. He looks so old. He likes to smoke cigarettes. He likes to drink beer. You know, he likes to eat shit. He does shit. See what I mean? And he goes, "Fuck, you're so jacked." He goes, "You're big. Your arms are fucking massive." He goes to me. I'm like, "Yeah." I go, "And I barely work out. He goes, "What do you do to maintain them?" I don't. I go, "I don't." He goes, "Then how come you're so big?" I go, "Because I built myofibulars." "What do you mean?" I go, "Contractile proteins, muscle. These myofibulars, you build them." He goes, "Don't you just eat protein and you work out and muscles build?" Well, I go, "How do they build if you just eat protein and you work out? How do they just build like that from a protein?" "Well, they synthesize protein." "How do they synthesize How does a muscle synthesize protein and build muscle from synthesizing just protein?" You get it, man? That sounds ridiculous. Muscles are built through contractile proteins. That's how they're built. That is the mass inside those cylindrical fibers are these things called contractile proteins, these sarcomeres and series and whatever, parallel series, whatever you want to call it, man. These fucking sarcomeres, okay? And so the more of them you get, they add to the mass and the density of the muscle. You understand what I'm trying to explain to you? So the more of them you get, that's what builds muscles. Now, when you lose them, they go away. Now, what would add more, make you even bigger, look bigger? Well, that's the sarcoplasm. Sarcoplasmic hypertrophy just makes you look bigger. Does it make you physically stronger? No. You understand me? But it'll make you look jacked artificially, but it doesn't make you stronger. But can you get one without the other? Yes, absolutely, because science corroborates that. I can use science to prove my point. One guy said to me, "Can you show me something and prove it?" I did. I gave it to him and he shut the fuck up. See what I mean? Because they explain it to you. 6 weeks of high volume training, fibular hypertrophy was largely attributed to this high volume training was largely attributed to 6 weeks of training was sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. Get it? You understand me? So there you go. So can you get one without the other? Absolutely. See what I mean? Yes, of course.
And not get shoulder pain when you bench press heavy. How to completely
He has shoulder pain. Look at this concentric.
prevent it.
Oh, did he go down straight? No, he'd never make it back up.
Okay.
Let me tell you something. It's better not to ego lift like this, 500 pounds, and actually build yourself up eccentrically super strong. You don't have to lift the heaviest weight. Eventually, you'll get there. In other words, you'll get there. It's like making money. You'll get there. Don't be in too much of a hurry, because if you eat too fast, you may choke on it.
God,
Anyways, I'm out of here.
I've watched hundreds of them come and go and break. All right, guys, but that's really
Yes, I've watched a lot of them come and go and break. And Blaha's next. I'll see you in the next one, friends. Tell me what you think about that. Like, subscribe, support the channel. It's going way too long.